Top 10 most famous cars in cinema history. Do you think that Batman simply would be the same without his Batmobile? Or would James Bond would prove to be so iconic without his 1964 Aston Martin DB5? Hell no. Love for cars is immensely increased when you know that your favorite movies got the nostalgic fame due to the cars that main character drove. That's why cinema has proven to be one of the prime motivator in letting people realize their love for cars. Additionally, this was the only sole reason for some of the most famous cars in cinema history to exist. So grab your snacks as we are going to get you through a cinematic joyride with the top 10 most famous cars in cinema history. 10. Batmobile. Every Batman fan has their own favorite Batmobile. Whether it's the Batmobile from the Nolan trilogy, Batmobile from Batman, the animated series, or even the Batmobile from Batman and Robin. With over 10 iconic Batmobile vehicles alone, it was nearly impossible for us to pick one. Although formed on the Chevrolet Impala chassis and powered by the power-roaring engine of Chevy V8, the first modern Batmobiles offered a colossal jet-like street presence. What comes as a surprise for the evildoers is the rocket launcher and machine guns. 9. 1959 Cadillac Miller Meteor, Ghostbusters. The first Ghostbusters film was launched in 1984. The Ghostbusters relied on the vehicle called as Ectomobile to get them from one place to another safely. In the movie Ghostbusters, a Cadillac Miller Meteor was used for a number of planet-saving missions and was the only mobile source for our heroes to go on and fight the evil. With its discreet tail fins and siren wailing, the Ecto-1 gained massive popularity with its supernatural adventures, scoring an indelible mark on both automobile and cinema culture. Astonishingly adventurous as it sounds. How could this not make our list? 8. 1969 Ford Mustang Mach-1, John Wick. Well, if you are listing the most famous cars in the cinema history, there is no way that you can ignore the Ford Mustang Mach-1 featured in John Wick. The car undeniably is the best Mustang ever produced. With its 7-liter, 375 horsepower V8, it could take the driver from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.3 seconds. Although in the movie, John calls the Mustang as a Boss 429, but in real life, it was a 1969 Ford Mustang Mach-1. The 1969 Ford Mustang Mach-1 perfectly complemented John Wick's lethal and stylish persona, only because of its distinctive appearance, adorned with dual hood scoops and racing stripes. 7. 1963 Volkswagen Beetle Herby. They say that it's not the size of the car in the fight that matters, but the size of the fight in the car that helps it win. It was 1968 when Volkswagen Beetle appeared on the silver screen and became everybody's favorite with its racing style and catchy color schemes. Herby has a lovely personality and will show its personality by doing cute gestures like flashing the headlights, opening and closing the doors, and honking. And more. This is the only car on the list that interacts with its driver and forms an unmatchable loyalty towards that person. With all such lovely qualities, we cannot resist adding Herby into our list. 6. 1977 Lotus Esprit S1, James Bond. The Spy Who Loved Me. The Lotus Esprit S1 became an instant hit when it was introduced in 1976. With its mid-mounted engine and the iconic wedge shape, this colossal thing caused quite a stir. What made the S1 so special was ability to operate as a submarine. Yes, a car that can double up as an amphibious automobile. If that's not a hot party move, then what is? The car left Bond fans and automotive enthusiasts stunned with its gadgets like surface-to-air missiles and transitioned from a sleek sports car to a submarine. 5. 1981 DeLorean DMC2, Back to the Future. Next in the list is DeLorean DMC2 featured in Back to the Future. The car got all the hype for its time traveling and ability to fly. Despite the fab futuristic design and scoring as one of the most liked 80s film cars, the DeLorean itself didn't do well on the real car market. The real DeLorean had a rather weak 132.9-liter V6 engine and was not able to reach the 88-mile-per-hour speed as shown in the film. Therefore, the production crew decided to replace its engine with a V8 from the Porsche 928, but still the car owns a special place in the heart of those who love the Back to the Future. 4. 1994 Toyota Supra MKIV, the Fast and the Furious. The Fast and the Furious is an enthusiastic car movie that will make you fall in love with sensational cars. And one of the most eye-catching vehicles appeared in that movie is a Toyota Supra MKIV that's driven by Brian O'Connor. What strikes us more is that this car was in personal use of director Rob Cohen. But unfortunately, he had to sell the car for the movie creation. Brian drove the car skillfully for several heists and chased many killers with it. Unsurprisingly, this was the very first car to get first signature by Brian O'Connor, was also a Supra. 3. 2006 Aston Martin DBS. James Bond. Casino Royale. Whenever we think of the James Bond movies, there is no chance that an iconic car does appear honking in our brains. One of the greatest James Bond vehicle is the Aston Martin DBS featured in the movie Casino Royale. It had a powerful engine of 6 liters, 48-valve V12, 420 torque, and top speed of 191 miles per hour. Moreover, it can fit an obscene reinforced chassis, a hidden weapon compartment, and an emergency medical aid kit. No wonder it was the perfect James Bond car. 2. 2007 Chevrolet Camaro Transformers. The Camaro gained a charming role in the first of Michael Bay's Transformers films as the automobile section of the Autobot Bumblebee. The Transformers introduced life into the prospect that heroes, even in mechanical form, could win over adversity and bring hope. Bumblebee was a modern interpretation of the classic muscle car, and it intrigued audiences with its aggressive design and lively yellow exterior. The original 2007 movie, Transformers, ignited a firestorm of fame surrounding the car, which even inspired Chevrolet to introduce its own Bumblebee edition cars. 1. Lightning McQueen. Cars. It would be unfair if we had chosen any other car despite Lightning McQueen for the first place. All of us aware of this iconic cinema car and its excellence. Lightning McQueen has ruled the silver screen for years. Whenever we hear its name, your childhood nostalgia blooms once again. This red-hot automobile burst onto the silver screen in Disney Pixar's super hit movie Cars. Although it was an entirely fictional car, but with its top speed races and radiator springs, it never betrays you, in giving life lessons that you will cherish for entire your life.